Hi, today I'm going to give a demonstration about these using beadlock tenon jig to create corner joints like this. This is for a bench, and this is going to be the legs and the arms of the bench. And as you can see, there's an angle. Each of these pieces is cut from 2x3 stock with a 45-degree angle there, and then joined at the corner with a 45-degree angle there. So I've gotten undone. That's the finished one. Here's one that is partially finished. And here's the remaining leg that I'm going to join on here. So, if I were to just glue this here, then that's not going to be very strong. So what we can do to create a stronger joint is use a beadlock tenon stock, which is kind of like 5 dowels just smashed together, but it's one piece of wood. And so what you have to do is you have to align these up and cut a hole like that that is going to perfectly match in the right spot. And we do that using this jig here. So I'll show you how that works. In order to get the line at the holes at the right spot, what I do is line it up here, kind of upside down with the flat side up, and then I just kind of pick a spot and mark it straight across. You might be able to see that there's a line, which I already did it, to cut that one. And then once you have that spot, then you take the line and put the jig over it. There's a red line on that jig, and just match it up perfectly. If you can see that, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a red line, matches up there. Clamp it on nice good, and then use these to drill. So I'll show you how that's done on the new one. So I've got a line there, and just going to match it up perfectly there. Hear an air compressor going in the background, which I'll use in a little bit. So let's go ahead and clamp that on. I like to use 2 clamps because when I'm drilling the hole, those can move. I'll show you why in a second. So the first one, you have these knobs. You have these knobs loosen up. You start with that all the way over to the left. It's going to drill 3 holes. I'm going to drill 3 holes right next to each other. I like to just kind of hold it like this and having trouble getting that to go all the way in. It's usually because there's stuff caught in there. Once I get the 3, I'm going to adjust, loosen that up, slide that over, so now there's really only 2 showing, or 2 that you can get to. They're right in the center, or between those first 3. So it's going to create that shape that this can go into. And this is where the jig will want to move. It'll want to jump into the holes that are already there. Unless you have it properly, tightly clamped. Okay, so I can see looks pretty good. I like to use a little bit of compressed air to blow that out. Alright, nice and clean. So let's, I'm going to do it's always good to do a test or a dry fit. Make sure that those are correct. And it's all going to line up nice. So it is a tight fit, kind of takes a mallet to get that in all the way. And then I just like to do this side just kind of by hand. Get a little bit more leverage with that other one. And that looks pretty nice. See from this side. It's not bad. So we'll go ahead and glue it up now. Like I said, those are kind of a tight fit, so to get that out, well, you know, if it's that tight, I'll just leave that in on that side and call it good. So put a little glue on that around there. Got this glue brush. Make sure it's all spread around there. And then okay. So now to secure that, what I'll do is there's a couple of these homemade little jigs. Clamp this side over here. Another one on this corner. straight thing that I can clamp. These Harbor Freight clamps are a little cheap feeling compared to the DeWalt ones, but they work. Now when I'm clamping this, there's going to be a tendency for it to kind of suck in and pull that knot at a 90-degree angle. I need a 90-degree angle, so a little hack. I got the stick, which I know is the same width as up here. That's the width up there. I want it to be the same width down here. And then that kind of squares that up. Got a right angle here. Yep, looks pretty good. I'll tighten that up a little bit. And there we go. Just gonna let that sit, wait for that wait for that glue to fully dry, and should be good to go. And then I'll just do a little sanding to even out those edges when I'm done. Alright, thanks.